with us for 3 months. He finished his limb lengthening process recently. It's been 2 weeks, right?
Since you had
Yeah, I think
removal
so.
surgery, yeah.
Almost 2 weeks, let's say. He gained 8.3 centimeter, which is equal to how many inches?
Like 3.2 inches.
3.2 inches. All right.
So basically 3.
Yeah, from his
Let's say
femurs,
3.
upper legs. So we're gonna like answer some questions. Not me, he. So he's gonna like bring up some
Big topics.
topics,
Yeah,
Regarding
popular.
limb-
lengthening, like
Topics.
maybe the most asked ones, right? About the pain, the process, like maybe how is Turkey? Is the bad place? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so we divided 5 topics, and we're gonna talk about the first one. All right, so the first one is it worth it? Is limb lengthening
Yeah.
worth doing?
Doing. I think so. I'm more leaning towards yes, because I've done it myself. But I think it depends on a few things. I think if your only focus in life is to be taller, it's probably not worth it, because there's other things that you can improve first, that you have more control over. That would be less expensive as well. But I think if you've sort of improved yourself in other aspects of life and you've still found that you're experiencing like some discrimination because of your height, I think it's probably worth doing the surgery. I think it depends on how much like psychological pain you're experiencing, because even though the surgery itself is quite physically painful, it's only for like 3 months, let's say, and then afterwards you get to live like, I guess, like an enhanced life, because you're going to have more confidence and like sort of statistically you're going to look better. For example, like there's a lot of studies that show that taller people are more successful in their career, and also in terms of like attraction, I think they're more successful in like the dating pool. However, for me, that wasn't really one of the reasons that I decided to do it, because like I myself have a girlfriend anyway, so that wasn't really like something I was thinking about. Oh, thank you. But yeah, but for me, it was more just like I was like slightly under the average height of like a man, let's say. So I was like 5'7", and now that I'm like 5'10", I'm slightly above average. So for me, it's like I'm transitioning from sort of looking up at people to looking slightly down or like equal to people. So I think psychologically that's going to affect your confidence when you're in like social situations. But I mean, for me, like I never experienced too much discrimination because of my height. So it wasn't like I had to do this. I just sort of felt like I had the money and I had the time. So I was like, I think this is going to improve my life quite a lot, because, for example, if you want to improve your like physical health by like going to the gym, lift weighting, I don't think it looks as good if you're kind of have got a shorter stature. Whereas if you're kind of more average or like tall, like if you put on muscle, which I intend to do, hopefully, like it will look. I think it will just look more proportionate, and something I experienced, I guess, was like almost feeling the need to like compensate for my height. So I'd almost try to, in social situations, I'd try to be like more funny or more outspoken, because I'd want people to accept me for who I am. But I had this feeling that like people, my first impression with people would they be like, oh, he's quite small, and like maybe they'd assume that I'm not like good enough at certain things, so I'd have to like prove that, like but yeah, I think, but I'd also say it probably isn't worth it if your situation is slightly different. For example, if you're like very small, you can only extend so much. So say if you're like 4 foot or something, like if you gain 3 inches, that's not really going to affect you in any social sense. That people are still going to like see you as like a small person. So like, whereas for me, I was quite lucky because I'm transitioning from under average to slightly above average, which has like a massive social impact, I think. Even though it's just 3 inches, but it's just that statistically speaking, I'm now slightly taller than most people just because of 3 inches, which is quite crazy to think about it. But like, you know, if you're really small or you're already really tall, I don't think 3 inches is really gonna like affect your life that much, like socially speaking. But obviously it's up to the individual. Like if you feel you'd be more confident with a slight height gain and you're willing to put in the time and effort and go through the pain, then I guess it is worth it. But I think generally speaking, this sort of surgery is probably more beneficial to people where they're transitioning from like maybe slightly under average to above average, or maybe they're transitioning from very under average to slightly under average, so that you're going to feel that social change. Because yeah, if you do the surgery and you're like still smaller than everyone, it's like, well, you've not really achieved like what you're intending to achieve.
Are dependent on like limb lengthening surgery too much. Like, okay, so this will change my life
Yeah,
completely. But I think
there's other aspects to think about.
no.
Yeah,
You should also like improve the other skills.
yeah, exactly. Because it's like,
Talking, job, or
yeah, you've got like,
your relationship, etc. So
yeah, because you can improve in loads of different areas, like you said, like personal improvement, like physical improvement, spiritual improvement, financial improvement, relationship, everything. So I feel like height is just, it's unfortunately one of those, like when people first meet you, that's how they judge you, is based off how you look initially. So first impressions, like I know first impressions aren't everything, but they do help a lot, I think, if you're like meeting a lot of new people. So, you know, you can only, so I feel like height is just one of the factors that people look at, because people will look at your face, your weight, and your height. So I feel like all three of these have like a significant impact on your like the way people interact with you and people like think of you. So yeah, like I feel like if you can improve, like you can improve one of them by like going to the gym, but unfortunately the other two, like your facial features and your height, are a bit more difficult to change. Yeah, it's like you can do like plastic surgery for your face, but like, you know, it's more risky. Whereas like this surgery is like, it's not like dangerous, let's say. Like it's painful, but it's like it's very safe and everything is controlled. So it's like
it's not like people just like turn into Frankenstein.
yeah, it's not like you come out and your legs are like spaghetti, like and you can't walk. No, it's like it's got a very high success rate. So the only thing you have to be willing to do is put up with the pain, and put up with the recovery time, and also like the financial side. Like I probably wouldn't recommend it to someone that's like struggling with money. So it's like if you've got your like life savings and that's just enough to pay for, and you're like, I need to put it all into yeah, it's like maybe not, like
broke.
Yeah, and then you go back and you're on the street, like you're homeless but you've got long legs. It's not really, so I think there's a lot of like sort of requirements, I think, that you need to have for yourself before you come to take this surgery. But yeah, if you have those requirements and you want to do it, I definitely think it's worth it, because it's gonna improve your confidence, which is like such an important thing.
Support you like
Exactly.
any way we can. All right, I think
Cool,
we've
yeah.
covered the first topic.
Definitely.
The first one. All right, so we're gonna see in the second one.